Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWIT.
Hi, Vicky.
I do want to say something. I think Leo's lens would be good for your vlogger column.
Ooh, Leo's lens. I like it.
That came up when y'all were talking about it. I love that.
Deal.
And then you could take pictures and do the whole thing. And the other thing is, I really hope you do get the girls of TWIT together to do a show. You kind of talked and teased
For guys,
about
it would be to help guys understand, you know, how to date and how to meet a woman and how to talk to women, things like that. Is that what you mean?
Well, that's how you talked about it. But I really would love, like they did on Rev 3 100 years ago, or Tech TV, where they all got together and the girls just talked about things that were interesting, trending and news, and just
we could do that. We could do the View TWIT style.
There was Gadgets.
Gadgets.
On
That's what it is.
CNET.
And they can
Or
also
Pop Siren
give
did that.
dating advice. They can also give dating advice. I don't have a problem with that, but why not do it all?
They could talk. Why should I tell them what they can talk about? They can talk about anything they want. And the whole point is that they could take calls like this.
I would just love that. I love Sarah. I love them all. I love you and Sarah together on iPad today.
I do too. I think we have a great the team we have here is so great, and I just love them all. Yep.
I love TWIT, and I want to say thank you for all the hard work that y'all all do. And I'll let somebody else call in. But
Thank you, Vicky. It's so nice to meet you.
I've been a fan since Tech TV days. I love you to death. Keep it up, please.
Right on, Vicky. Take care.
Bye-bye.
From Nashville. Let's move on to line 3. Hi, this is Leo. Come on. Lisa, do you want to do Inside TWIT? Come over here. We're taking calls. Come on, Lisa. Hi, what's your name?
I've been a fan since Tech TV days. I love you to death. Keep it up.
We have delay, apparently. Turn down your radio, caller. That's funny. What he's doing is watching the stream. She's watching the stream, and so we just heard the stream coming back at us. This is the first time we've ever done this, Attila. They hung up. Let's go to line 2. Hello, line 2. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
This is Andrew from Dayton, Ohio.
Hi, Andrew. Now, Andrew, I think you heard a little chime when I picked you up. Is that right?
Actually, no, it just kind of stopped ringing, and there you were. I don't recall a chime as such.
The chime is I have to put you on hold, and then you would hear a chime. Okay. So, that's how you'll know. It'll stop ringing.
Yeah, exactly.
So, say your name again?
Andrew.
Hi, Andrew. You're from Dayton, Ohio?
Yes, and so nice to talk to you. I've watched you in one form or another since like 1993, I want to say.
That could be about right, yeah. I think the first TV stuff I did was around then with, I did a PBS show, and I did a thing on Channel 4 in San Francisco, and then in 94, Gina Smith and I did the personal computing show for Ziff Davis.
Wow, okay. Now, was there something CNET related? Because that's kind of the first thing I remember.
No, I think a lot of people think I worked at CNET, and I never did.
I think it's that first show you're talking about, the PBS, but was it ever on, like, maybe the USA Network? Like, where would I watch Screensavers? Because I sure watched a lot of that, you know.
Yeah, and that was 1998. That wasn't until 98 to 2004, and that would have been only on Tech TV.
Okay, only on Tech TV.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
So
well,
I did
found you again.
Maybe you're thinking of Glenn says people confuse me with Richard Hart, who is much thinner and handsomer than I. So I don't know.
No, because you were with my hero, who does This Week in Technology with you.
Dvorak.
Dvorak, John Dvorak. Oh,
Dvorak and I started doing a radio show, syndicated radio show, in '91. So it could have been you thought you were seeing us, but you were hearing us.
Wow, that could be too.
Yep.
You know, the 90s were my 60s, so I'll give you that. So
if you can remember them, you weren't there.
Exactly. And I was there, and I still can't remember them, so it was awesome, you know.
Andrew, what do you do for a living?
Oh, my gosh. Well, for the last, 10 years, I've been doing some stand-up comedy. But the last, 3 years, been taking time off. I actually take care of my father. He's 87 with just a few minor,
and that's
age-related type difficulties.
I'm sorry to hear about your dad, but that's exactly why I asked, because you sound like a performer.
Oh, well, thank you. I guess that's
no, that's good. You have a presence and an energy about you. The chat room immediately said, "Oh, it's Andrew. He's going to be good." That's pressure, isn't it?
Absolutely. I can be good, though. Yeah, if you ever need a co-host to Skype in, I can look as good as Lamar on the YouTube show. So
Awesome. So I'm sorry about your
look as good
dad,
as
but
Lamar.
what a good son. I hope my son will do that in about 30 years for me.
I know. I'm kind of, disgruntled. I never had children of my own because I'm thinking, what will I do? But
Who's going to do me? Yeah.
I won't be able to afford to live that long, though. So,
Andrew,
it'll be
Andrew,
all right.
I got to tell you, it's a silly thing to count on because I can pretty much guarantee neither Abby nor Henry's going to want to have anything to do with me. So I got to have to do something else. I have to find new kids.
You've got their domain names.
I do. You know that. That's right.
Yes,
I got
do.
your domain name, kid. If you want Abby Laporte, you better take care of me.
Yes, and I think that's a perfect ransom, and, use it before you just can't remember you have it anymore.
I think it's actually Dan in the chat room is going to take care of me.
They definitely have your back.
Poor Dan. He's a volunteer for life. We got him now.
Absolutely.
Well, Andrew, go ahead.
I just want to say, your mom, she was on, has it been a month now that she was on the show with the guy from Mad Magazine?
Fizz, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God. That was like the best hour of, for me, television on my old phone that I've ever seen in my life.
Golly.
That woman is awesome.
Golly. Well, Mom, if Mom's listening, she just had a great moment. She has it's funny because I got a little of you could tell that I got a little of that performer thing from her. She's definitely not camera shy.
Definitely. You need to get her back in next time she's in.
She will.
And I have a lot in common in that respect. My mother had the wickedest sense of humor you'd ever
I love
want to
Mom.
be mothered by.
She'll be back. In fact, if I told her, hey Mom, you could have a weekly show, she'd be back like that. She'd be back so fast.
Or have her Skype. My God, she's great at this stuff.
No, please, now come on. Let's not go crazy.
Well, you probably have to hire an assistant on her end to run the actual.
No, she can do it. I set her up. One of the things I did when she was out here, we got Skype going on everything. She has a Skype account. That's a good idea. I'll have when Lisa won't do Inside Twit with me, I'll have Mom do Inside Twit. That should be fun.
Oh my God, how perfect is that?
Hey Mom, what's the revenue for this month? The revenue projection. Leo, you're gonna be rich.
Yeah. It's perfect.
What kind of comedy do you do? You do observational comedy? What kind of stuff do you do?
Yeah, like I say, my 60s were back in the 90s, so my mind's all twisted, and I just kind of use that to my advantage, you might say. I don't know.
That's
That
good.
makes sense.
That's good.
It's all right.
I look at, Mark Maron, who has really, his career is about to take off, I think. And it's because he did the podcast, WTF. I mean, it's really interesting to see the opportunities have changed quite a bit. Thanks to new media.
It's very strange. Yet, on the other hand, like me being a comic and having all the means to do a good podcast, me sitting there talking by myself to a camera,
it's hard.
It's not.
It's hard. Really, it's like me doing that vlog. It's hard.
Exactly. And I haven't seen your vlog yet. Are you publishing currently?
No. Dan in the chat room saying, is taking care of Leo a paying gig? Yeah, we'll pay you, Dan, exactly what we pay you right now. An occasional iTunes gift card. That's it.
There you go.
Hey, thank you, Andrew. Great to talk to you.
Great to talk to you, and thanks so much. And twit on.
My pleasure. Thank you so much. This is awesome. The quality is great. People can call in easily. We've wanted to do this forever. I'm thrilled. But Lisa said, no, I'm not going to. Come on, Lisa. She's afraid of people asking her questions. She's working. Oh, how dare she? How dare she? It was a Giz Fizz, Libby, so it was a Saturday thing. I don't know if we ever put it out as a recorded. If you can go to Justin TV, do you know that we need to find the date and all that? Someone in the chat room will do that.
Someone in the chat room actually has a spreadsheet and tracks and has all the links.
Really? There's a spreadsheet with all the Giz Fizzes?
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to say Beatmaster might be.
Beatmaster all right. Let's take another call. I'm going to line 1. See, it just automatically queues them up. Hey, Leo Laporte here. Who is this?
This is David.
Hey, David, where are you calling us from?
Westchester, Pennsylvania.
All right. Is Westchester anywhere near, it's near what?
My aunt lives in Westchester.
Yeah, okay, so Jeffrey Needles' aunt lives there. You know Aunt Needles?
Oh, of course. Yeah, we're best friends. Ant Needles and
Ant Needles. I'm trying to remember. Was it Susquehanna? Where was Susquehanna? Oh, York. York, PA. I have the key to the city for York, PA. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, I know where York is. I'm closer to Philadelphia.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. This
DS Hale in the chat room.
What's your name?
I'm DS Hale in the chat room.
All right, DS Hale. You're there all the time. I recognize you. So it's DS Hale, not D Shale.
That's correct.
Okay, I always say it wrong, I'm sure. It's hard to know where the words, break.
Right. Yeah. So I've changed it recently, put a dash between the DS and the Hale to make it easier.
There you go. I did notice that. So now let me ask you, because I don't get to talk to people in the chat one-on-one like this very often. Why are you in chat so much?
Well, I'm an IT director, and the job that I have doesn't offer any training, so I kind of use TWIT as some training in new technologies.
That's scary. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. The pressure's on now.
Well, that's the introduction. It's up to me to research things further.
Yeah, but no, I think that's true. You could probably at least kind of, certainly if you watch this enough, you're going to get an idea of what's bubbling up and what's going on and all of that stuff.
Right, like I'm doing this entire call on my iPad with Talkatone. So
awesome! It's great. That's awesome. That's fabulous. Yeah, I put that on my Mini, and of course, it's a feedback loop, DS Hale, because I got that from the chat room because we were doing iPad today, and somebody said, "Oh, you should try Talkatone." So I did the next week. So it's a feedback loop.
It works great.
Yeah. Somebody said I just trolled you.
That's fine. People troll you all the time. I feel bad for the bad things you get on Twitter. So.
Oh my God! Though, in the last couple of days, Twitter has been very nice to me. So now I'm thinking I should do more twitting. I'm trying to. The whole conversation about the vlog kind of made me think I should probably. I've done 3 blog posts in the last 2 days. I've done like 4 or 5 Google Plus posts, a couple of tweets. I'm starting to think I'm going to do more stuff. Effin Dunn says it's good to hear your voice, DS Hale.
Yeah, well, thank you, Effin Dunn, and also I enjoyed your point to Lisa's history on what she's done before.
Yes,
it was.
I didn't know a lot of that stuff. Because it's funny, because when she was 16, she was working at Jack in the Box. When I was 16, I was working at McDonald's. So we had a little fight the other night about which is the better hamburger.
I think she probably went.
Yeah, I think it's hard to tell the difference, to be honest with you. Yeah. The Jumbo Jack, man, that's good stuff. No, everybody should go to lisakensel.com because she was reluctant, and I understand why, to name the names of the company. So I apologize for the vagueness of it because she wanted to protect people's privacy. See, something I don't really think about, but I thought it was very interesting to see how she got up to this point. When we hired her, the only thing I knew is that our CPA had recommended her because she was, a hired gun who would clean up books for people who had made a utter hash of them. And Dana and I had just completely, what books? We didn't, poor Dane, he would come to me and say, you didn't pay me this again. I said, oh crap, I forgot to call paychecks. I'm sorry, I'll call him right now. It was a mess. So that's how we got to know her, is that the CPA said, I've got 2 accountants or bookkeepers who can come in and fix these because you've got to, because I'm not going to do your taxes anymore if you don't. So, but I had never heard the whole story. So how long have you been listening to TWIT?
About 2 years.
Okay.
But I'm well familiar with you from long time past. I mean,
right.
I'm in your age bracket, so.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, I have no problem with it.
I just posted on Google Plus a picture of me 40. This blew my mind. It was when I was 16. I was thinking, that's 40 years ago. And the thing when I'm looking at it is I don't feel any older than I did when I was that kid. So just think about that, Jeffrey Needles. What? You are right now. Your body is going to age, but your mind's going to stay the same.
Okay. Yeah, I saw the picture. It took me a while to really fit you in there, but I finally did.
Yeah, well, my hair is like. Somebody says, is that a wig? No, I just had long hair. It was 1971, I guess. 70, something like that. Yeah, 71. There it is. Oh, how'd you find that so fast? And that's my sister Eva, who looks exactly the same. She is not aged. But yeah, I'm guessing I'm 16 in that picture, which means exactly 40 years ago. Yeah, Eva's always been a very beautiful woman. And I was a hippie. But there was Santa Cruz in 1971. What'd you expect?
Yeah, I like your new call screening system for.
This works
that
good.
guy.
And isn't Heather great? Heather Hammond, we're so happy to have her. And,
Wonderful. She adds a lot.
and to have this system, we thank Telos for setting this up. This is but most radio stations use Telos equipment, so this is very similar to almost any radio station in the country. And then in the basement, I was surprised to know they use Asterisk. So it's an Asterisk box in the basement, and then it's hooked up to internet. This is essentially VoIP. So
the Asterisk box doesn't get mad at the Ring Central.
no, there's nothing to get mad at. There's nothing down there. We finally got a PBX, and somebody said, "Well, Leo, you said you don't want a PBX." I don't, but what a radio station has to do, a hunt group, you can't do that. I mean, that's pretty complicated stuff. So
That's for sure.
yeah,
For sure.
I mean, what we have is we can have as many as 12 lines, but we have is 6 lines. So you call that one number, and they roll over, and then the people who are calling the number, once it's rolled over to all 6, will get a busy signal, and then we have 4 other lines, and that's all on the internet pipeline. So it's pretty good. Well, it's nice to finally.
I want to thank you for talking to me, and I just thank you for all you guys do there, and you have a wonderful team working for you, and I get a lot out of it.
Thank you. So nice to meet you and to put a voice to a name, voice to a handle. Thank you. D.S. Hale in our chat room. Go to line 2. This is so amazing. This works so well. Hi, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Tom from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
There is actually somebody in Scranton.
Yes.
Hi, Tom.
Hello.
Yeah, that's where Dunder Mifflin is located.
Yeah.
What does Scranton think about all that? And are you glad that the show's finally off the air?
I guess we're a little forlorn. It
was good.
15 minutes in the sun.
Yeah, it was good for the city, I think.
It was, yeah. We loved it.
Yeah. I mean, initially, it's kind of supposed to be a butt of a joke to say, "Oh, we're in Scranton," but
yes, Scranton has been the butt of many jokes over the years.
Yeah, but it's not. It's a nice area.
It is a very nice area. Yeah.
Yeah. But Pennsylvania's a beautiful state. So, what do you do for a living?
I am an assistant bakery manager.
Ooh. That must be a terrible job. How early do you have to get up in the morning?
Well, it depends on what task I am needed.
Okay.
The assistant manager part would be a daytime shift.
Are you the assistant to the bakery manager?
Yes.
Okay. a little office joke there. So you can be out. You don't have to get up at 3 in the morning to bake the bread.
Unless somebody calls off.
And then you do.
Yeah.
I could not work in a bakery. I would be, well, I'm fat as it is, but I would be 100 pounds more. I don't love sweets so much. I love bread.
Yeah, me too. Bread is my...
Yeah. I just stopped baking. I used to bake a lot. I would make a very, it's called pan bigio. It's a very simple peasant bread with a biga, with a starter. And I kept the biga in the freezer, and then I would bring it out, and I would use it as a starter. And it was a wonderful, simple bread. But, when the bread comes, and you know this, when the bread comes out of the oven, and you put a little butter on that, you'll eat a whole loaf like that.
There's nothing closer than heaven than that.
Oh, it's so good.
I can't tell you the last time I've eaten a donut.
Yeah, I don't care about, I can pass up donuts, no problem. Danish is...
Yeah, sweets, I am basically turned off to sweets because I've seen too much.
So what's the name of your bakery?
It's for a grocery store.
Okay.
Giant grocery stores.
And Giant. Oh, I know Giant. And then, so you have to do all kinds. You do bread. You do everything. You do cakes.
Everything. Cakes.
Yeah.
Cookies, bread, donuts. The whole 9 yards.
How did you get into that business? Did you study it?
No, I kind of stumbled into it. Just happenstance that they had an opening, and I kind of had an affinity for food. I just didn't know how much of an affinity I had for bread making.
It's fun. There's something magic about bread making. It's alive when you feel that dough, and it's.
Oh yeah.
My mom always used to say, "It's got to feel like a baby's butt. You need it until it feels like a baby's butt."
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It does. And
Right.
it feels, and it doesn't. It's elastic. It's alive. It's not just an inert thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's got the yeast, so it is alive. Yeah. And oh man, you let
The
it
proof
run.
box is proof that the yeast is alive and kicking.
Yeah. Sometimes I forget to proof my yeast. That's bad. You don't want to do that, especially nowadays. Some of the yeast you get is just terrible.
Yeah, very bad. Yeah.
You probably use some sort of industrial yeast.
Yeah. There's Fleischmann's. I mean, it's.
Well, that's what Fleischmann's is like. Everybody uses Fleischmann's.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's a little bit. We get a little bit different yeast than the powdered yeast you would find on the
so-called active
on the show.
yeast. Yeah.
It's more active. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure you could find it, but it would take a little digging.
Tom, it's so good to talk to you. So good to know. When do you watch typically?
Whenever I can. I'm usually online. I just let this run all day long, and I'm in the chat room all the time.
What's your chat handle?
Xtomb.
XTOMB?
Yes.
Awesome. This is the best part, and it's one of the reasons I love it when Dick does the Giz Fizz. It's such a great thing to meet people, to break this fourth wall, which is always the problem. I hate the damn fourth wall. And we've never found a way to have good interactivity, and I'm thrilled about this. I mean, it's just audio. It'd be nice
This is great.
Yeah, but it's easier in a way because making a call, anybody can do that.
Right.
Dan's recognizing you. Everybody's saying hi to you in the chat room.
Oh my gosh, look at that. But I've been loving you guys, oh my gosh, the Broken Record, I've been watching you for so many years.
Thank you.
And since you started doing TWIT, I kept missing it. I remember when you first started doing the first TWITs, I started missing them sporadically, but I think once you got into the cottage, it was like, bam,
That's great. So you
all over again.
You think this was the right direction to go to build this studio and to get this all the facilities and grow like we've grown? I think some people were worried when we left the cottage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go out there and visit you.
You got to see it in person. It's amazing.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes. And that'll be coming soon, hopefully.
Good, Tom. Don't bring me any bread, though.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, Liz says bring her bread.
Okay. I will bring Liz bread.
Tom, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for calling. I appreciate it.
Nice to talk to you, Leo.
All right. Have a great evening.
Okay,
Yes, it is
too.
evening. It's almost 8. Back east. Let's go to line 3. Hi, this is Leo. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Leo, it's Solly from Alabama. Near Huntsville.
What's your chat handle?
Solly, as in Tango, Oscar, Lima, Lima, India, Echo.
Tolly. Oh, yeah, we see you all the time in the chat room.
How you doing, Leo? I got a tip for you, too. We can't hear your audio, so we have to listen to delay feed and mute it as soon as you pick up. So you might put them on hold before you do. I don't know if you can do that or not. But
So when I'm on, oh, that's really good to know. So when you're on hold, you get no audio back from us.
I'm not on hold. That's the thing. We're just ringing, remember? So
All you hear is a ring, ring, ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the difference. If we had a call screener, actually let me do this with you, Tolly. Let me put you on hold, and
I just got through to you, Leo.
No. I'm not gonna hang up on you, but I'm just wondering. Now you're on hold right now. I'm just wondering if you're still hearing me, and then now you're gonna hear the chime, ding.
Yep.
So
You're good on that. I can hear you and I hear the chime.
Okay, good. So we do have music on hold or whatever, audio on hold, and you heard the chime. Tolly, you were so scared.
No.
The chat room said, No, I just got through.
I appreciate all the guys at TWIT and all the ladies there too. Y'all do a great job. I want to pitch someone to you for your Big Thinker show.
Oh, good.
Wait, it's not called Big Thinker. It's what thinking. A triangulation.
Big Thinker, but you know what? Big Thinkers was the name of the show on Tech TV, and this is exactly the same idea.
Yep, I had a flashback there for Massey, Congressman Thomas Massey. Are you familiar with him?
No, Congressman from where?
He's from Kentucky's 4th Congressional District.
Are you writing this down? Oh, Carson's not there, so we'll write it down. Kentucky 4.
Unique is he was a graduate from MIT. He has a bachelor's in engineering and a master's in mechanical engineering.
A smart congressman. Wow.
Tech literate guy. He can talk about Bitcoin, about science, technology.
What's he doing in Congress?
Yeah, that's what a lot of us kind of wonder. Why do they go there?
No, it's actually really great. No, I'm thrilled that he wants to serve the public, and I wish more engineers would do that, because I think one of the things, and I think it's getting better, but I do feel like sometimes Congress, it goes right over their head. They don't understand the issues, and technology moves so fast.
Yeah, and that's what I like about look, Leo, you talk about economics some now too, and like I mentioned to you, I've tried to get you in the chat to see Ron Paul's In the Fed book. Have you had a chance to read it, Leo?
No, I'm not a big Ron Paul fan. I'll be honest with you. Now I understand libertarianism, and I kind of agree with it. But I also think that more than Mr. Paul does, that government has a role, and government is us. So not to get too political here, but I am not particularly anti-government. I feel like it's us. So if we don't like it, what we got to do is reshape it, like your smart congressman there.
Well, that's why I listen to you, Leo. You know what? Even though we disagree on some of those politics matters, I think we agree on the matters that there should be a good discussion about it. And you make it entertaining, which is great. I know that's part of your job, is to make it entertaining. But you have a really good discussion about it, and if I troll you in the chat room to get Ron Paul's book out there, then maybe
I'll read it. I'll give him a chance, and I'll read it. Hey, the thing that I want to do more political stuff, but it is such a Kindle, a fire waiting to be kindled. It's such a hot topic that I'm really reluctant.
I mean, it runs off half the tech audience, right?
Right, and I wish if more people were like you, were open to the discussion. Then maybe we would do it. But I think so many people, it just gets them, it's so head up. And Lisa and I have opposite politics. Lisa is more she's more of a conservative, and I'm more of a liberal. So we get in those. But she's telling me don't talk about it. I'm open to other ideas, absolutely, and I like to hear other ideas. And God knows, with John C. Dvorak, I'm gonna. But at the same time, I think it's kind of risky. And every time we even touch slightly on politics, and sometimes it comes up because a lot of what tech is about is policy and protecting the internet.
I think you can't really get away from politics completely, because if you realize what politics does, it touches everything. It's like the economy; it touches everything. It's like your worldview. If you're religious or not, it's like your worldview. Your worldview influences everything you do, even if you don't want to admit it.
Exactly.
Hey, but Thomas Massey is a guy you could get on and talk tech with him. He's also in Congress, so he can talk about some of those issues.
I think that's a great idea.
Smart guy. Bitcoin, I know he's interested in that, and talked about that with the mathematical person in him. Hey, Leo, appreciate you and all your crew, too.
Thank you, Tolly. It's really good to talk to you. It's really good to talk to you, and I appreciate it. Take care. I mean, it's something a number of people have on our TWIT family have said we should do a politics show, and I just it seems like it's not really the right forum for it. At the same time, I think we have a very intelligent audience, and I think we could have an intelligent conversation. But it's such a tinderbox. It makes me so nervous.
I put the 3 calls that we have on hold so that they can hear you.
Oh, now they get very smart. And I like the new screensaver. Politics and religion come into it all the time on the shows. I mean, there's no way you can get a... That's Google awesome. You can see now that I'm kind of loosening up with what I'll post on the internet. If I thought that was a good picture to post.
Well, it's an experiment with the new auto-GIF thing.
Who's Dr. DeGray? Is it Aubrey DeGray? Who's Dr. DeGray? That sounds familiar. Sens.org/press. Well, a lot of things cause chat room disasters. I can't let that be the only reason not to do something, Jab. If we mention sex, if I swear, if we mention... There's chat room disasters all the time. Aubrey DeGray, yeah. I would love to talk to Aubrey DeGray. No, we're not New Angel. We're calling it Leo's Lens now. Didn't you hear? Vicky told us that. Yeah, in fact, I've met Aubrey DeGray, In fact, we've had Aubrey de Grey on Futures in Biotech, I believe. And I do think that stuff's very interesting. No, my sheets come from Peacock Alley. Much better than either Martha or Ralph. Let's take another call. See, now there's a button on here that says next, so I just press it. Hey, it's Leo. What's your name and where are you calling from? Ding.
This is Richard from Westchester County, New York.
Another Westchester, but the other Westchester. Hi, Richard.
Well, I am honored and longtime listener. Every weekend, whenever I can, been in IT since 1989 with my own firm.
Awesome.
And I got to tell you that I think you're one of the bravest people that I know to put yourself out there to all the public like this. And you do a great job, Leo. You give a lot of people confidence in the IT arena.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I don't know how brave. It might be just dumb.
No,
I don't know if it's brave.
Well, look at all of the fans that you currently have. My wife insists that you and I are brothers from
that's
another
great.
mother.
You know, I have to say the rewards, and this is very clear, and Jeff Jarvis always says this, the rewards of living in public, as scary as it might be, are just amazing. Maybe I'm just very lucky, but I mean, people are so nice to me. So I'm like you, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Well, you make my life richer, and I share a lot of your technology. Let's just say that sometimes when I go to clients, I will channel your podcast. I will channel you with my clients.
That's awesome.
We use carbonite. I have a Pebble watch on my left hand. I have a Nike
A fuel band on the other.
A fuel band on the other, a gift from my son.
Oh, dear.
Yes, it's a problem being one of your fans because it's costly.
I'm not making your life richer. I'm making your life poorer, I think, actually.
Well, I got to tell you that I've never gazelled my chumby.
Now it's too late. Nobody. Who did I give my chum? I gave my chumby to somebody. Was it Chad? Who did I give my chumby to? It's pre-Chad. Yeah, I had a chumby. We gave it away. Poor old chumby.
Well, that should...
I did. I gave it to a visitor. You're right. You're right. I just gave it. I said, here, have a chumby. And he said, oh,
well,
thank you.
You're an inspiration to a lot of people in terms of also the group that you have working. My imaginary friends are a lot more loyal in a lot of cases than my real ones.
That's what I want to capitalize on somehow, because this is such a great group. And what I always thought is this would be our clubhouse, right? And then virtually anybody who wanted to can just hang with us. So it was really always, there's who's waving there? That's Jeff waving. And then there's John behind that. And there's just so many great people. And there's Liz bouncing over here. And Lisa's in her office, and I guess we got Patrick Delahan. It's just, who else is here? Oh, he's an asshole. I don't like him. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Do you want me to mute your mic, Leo?
Hey, Brian, how are you? I love you, Brian. Just teasing. You know that. Alex Gumpel over there. So one of the things, it does feel like a club, and it's fun. And I feel so lucky that I can. But that was the thing that was great about Tech TV, was it was you got to go to work with such great people, and if you're lucky enough to have an environment like that, I think it's great to share that. And we love Cranky Hippo. I was just teasing you, right? But what the hell are you doing here? And what the hell are you doing over there? Oh, are you TDing the next show? What is the next show? Oh, we got lots of time. It's the old guys. Okay. So what do you do?
I have an IT company.
Oh, you said that. That's right. Yeah.
We work with everything from legal. I work with plastic surgeons. Matter of fact, while I was waiting, I remoted into a plastic surgeon. We do everything from networks to their phones. I've done stuff with Apple's products that Apple has told me was impossible.
We have a lot of IT guys. Do you know about TechServe? Because they're in New York, aren't they?
Well, of course. I've been down there often, and I wind up with their overflow. And surf can't handle it, I weren't dubbed with their dregs.
That's probably pretty good, actually. The leavings are probably very good.
Yeah, but I pull my hair out because if they can't fix it, it's near impossible.
Well, that's good to know. TechServe is one of our advertisers for This Week in Enterprise Tech. Do you have a chat room name? Osned wants to know.
I don't have enough time, honestly, to spend on the chat. I usually listen to you on my Samsung Galaxy 3 with the headphones while I'm at the gym on the weekends.
Awesome.
But I go back to Atari 400 days with 4K of RAM where we had a cassette recorder that would take 45 minutes to load the program, and half the time it would crash. And it would take you half a day to load what you were trying to type back in again from the magazine.
Yep. Oh, my God. Now, you and I are brothers from another mother. Absolutely. Did the same exact thing.
Not only that, I followed it. So I salute you. Go forward. Carry the torch.
Thank you.
You've got a lot of fans behind you. And that TWIT army is very strong.
Unbelievable. But you know, it's good to know two of the people we've talked to so far, including you, are watching but not in chat. And I think a lot of times we just assume, well, the chat is everybody who's watching. But I think there's probably only half of the people, or even fewer, actually, because there's usually between 2,000 and 5,000 people watching, and maybe 800 people in chat. So it's good to remember that. I appreciate your reminding me. Not everybody is chatting.
I wish I had the time because, as I said, while I was on hold, I'm remoted into one of my clients. There are only so many plates like the circus act that you can keep spinning it once without one of the plates.
Right. You don't have to tell me about spinning plates. Know all about it. Hey, thanks.
I knew you'd relate to a lot of it.
It's good to talk to you. Really nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for all you do.
Thank you. Take care. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye. Somebody just said something in the chat room and I wanted to respond to it, but Oh, Dan just said this chat room is 10 years old in January. Dan, that's not even possible. How could that even be? January 3rd, 2003? How could that even be? What were we chatting about? Because 2004. Is that right? How could that be? That's when the DSL Extreme chat started? Oh, yeah. Of course it is. That was the first day of the first radio show. So the radio show will be 10 years old in January, and the chat is the same age. Oh, my God. Dan told me. So DSL Extreme is a sponsor of the radio show, and they hosted the chat for a while. And it was running in a crappy old laptop that they had lying in the. Dan saw it. He said, we finally had to get it away from them. Right? Am I right, Dan? It was a crappy old laptop. And we finally got it on our own server. Now we run this server ourselves, and it's a little bit more robust, I think. Wow, 10 years old. I don't think, JC, I've met all of the chat room mods. I've met a good many of them. I do like it when we do this. Let's take another call. Line 2, caller. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi there. Can you hear me?
I hear you great.
My name is Paul. I'm in Tucson, Arizona.
Hey, Paul. Good. We got somebody in the West for a change.
Yeah, here I am.
What do you do? What do you do for a living, Paul?
I am also a tech. I do tech support in Tucson, Arizona. I have a shop adjacent.
It's starting to scare me because you guys know more about this stuff than I do. All of a sudden, I'm a little bit nervous that we have all these smart listeners.
Well, I feel kind of late to the party because, a lot of listeners say, watch you since Tech TV. And I had actually, the way I found you is I usually go down to CES every year, and I couldn't make it 2 years ago. So I was frantically searching for a live feed, and usually CNET does their thing.
Right.
And then I found you inadvertently and started watching. I'm like, what is this? And I was just really involved and loved everybody and had to do some backlog on YouTube to actually see what Tech TV was. And but now I watch it all the time. I work in my shop. I've got you running on my 55-inch flat screen.
Wow.
People come in and they're like, what is this? And I explain it. I used to run, the news, which is awful. So I used to have that running. I try to get in there. I'm actually Spare Parts Paul in the chat room.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get in as much. I try to get in and help as much as I can, but I don't get in as much because I'm usually working while watching. So
yeah, and I don't want you to work more in the chat room. I mean, that's not fair. Although I appreciate it, it's very helpful for people.
Well, I watch. It's usually streaming all the time, and if I can't see you live, I'll get on demand like everyone else. But I want to
So
tell
you see,
that,
Lisa, that was worth the $200,000 we spent to be at CES because that's how we got Spare Parts Paul.
That's exactly right. That's
worth every penny of it. I apologize. Are you disappointed that we didn't do CES this year or didn't do it as thoroughly?
You know, I can understand why you didn't. But you know, I think all the live broadcasts when all the announcements come out make it all worth it because you know CES has actually become it's
less interesting.
It seems.
It's less interesting.
I didn't want to be hurtful, but yeah, it certainly is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's changing into, but it's not as exciting as it used to be.
The only thing that I'm nowadays interested in CES is the TVs. Most everything else is kind of accessories and much less interesting.
And the televisions are great, but there are a lot of empty promises, and you don't really get a price tag on anything.
Right.
And it's a technology that's probably 5 or 6 years before it reached consumer.
Exactly.
So you kind of go, well, that's great. Thanks for the tease. And
that's why we made the strategic decision and the cost, and I had to weigh it, and I really felt like there was less for us to do at CES. In fact, the year before, when Spike TV was there, I thought, I don't really need to do this anymore. It's Spike's here. Of course, they didn't come back, but CNET does it, and it's mostly iPhone cases and stuff. I just felt like it was less valuable. Yeah. So I made that decision. And I'll tell you, the money we saved allowed us to expand, allowed us to pay off the studio loan, and allows us to do better jobs, I think, with the thing people really want us to do, which is the keynote coverage, the breaking news, and all of that stuff. So,
I'm sure it was a small fortune you saved from
$200,000 is what it cost us to do CES last year.
Outrageous.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. I mean, I'm willing to invest it if there's a reason to do it. But it was just not, and I don't think we did a great job. Frankly, it's noisy. It was hard to do a really good job of it. I think what we did this year was better, frankly.
I mean, I've been there, and when I first saw you a few years ago, or a couple years ago, when you guys went up, and you guys did the best you could there, considering the noise, and tried form the shows around it. And at that time, I didn't realize what the shows were and what they encompassed. But I do get a lot out of it. I do like the Enterprise show.
Thanks,
with Father.
Isn't he great? Do you love Robert?
I think it's great, and he started out as a chatter, right? He wasn't.
Yeah, the story on Robert is hysterical. He was, TNT every once in a while has a chatter be on the show. It was for they host the best ofs, or.
And he's super smart, and he's well informed, and he's well spoken. He's a joy to listen to and to watch. So
he was a huge discovery. Now it turned out he's been doing shows of his own anyway, but
I believe that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's wonderful.
Yeah. I think all you guys are really way ahead of your time. I mean, you guys talk about how television needs to get on board, and I think years from now they're going to actually bring up TWIT and say this is what they were doing it already. It was been done already, and you guys are just late to the party as well. You guys are just dragging your feet because of whatever reason. And I do most of my streaming on the computer, and just because maybe that's the environment that I'm in, but. I think it's not mainstream yet, but when it becomes mainstream, I think you guys are going to be talked about constantly.
Maybe, and we don't. I'm not doing it to be a pioneer or because we want to reinvent television. We're doing it because it was from a purely pragmatic point of view. It's cheap, and we can put it on the internet, and at least our audience knows how to watch it, and because they're all techie, and it's just something we can do, and so we're not trying to. I'm certainly not sitting here saying, what's the next big thing and how can I be part of it? I don't by any means, but I do feel really grateful that we're getting to do this, and it really is. I say that a lot, but it's absolutely true. It's kind of amazing that we can do effectively, a lot of what Tech TV did for just a tiny fraction of the cost, and reach a much broader audience, much larger audience. That's the thing that blows me away.
I believe it, and it's a great service you guys are providing. I just wanted to say that. I appreciate it a lot. And
I appreciate the appreciation.
Yeah, I know you get a lot of people on you mentioned that some people on Twitter are a little mean, and I don't understand that because you guys are really, I don't understand what would be something to be mean about because you guys are actually really providing the service and
Thank
value.
you, Paul. And I shouldn't complain about it. There's lots of drive-by trolls, but you could probably tell that I'm a little sensitive, and it just hurts my feelings, and so I probably shouldn't vocalize it, but I read it and I go, oh man.
Well, you have a right to be. You're very exposed, so you have a right to be sensitive.
Well, no, you put yourself out in the public like this. Of course, people are going to toss things. It's like it's very similar to me about when I first got my tricycle, and I was riding down D Street, the big boulevard here, and somebody threw a bottle at my head. Of course, because I'm that jerk riding a tricycle down the street, and I understand that. You ride a tricycle down the street, somebody's going. If it was an empty bottle, it didn't hurt me, but
I'm glad I got to talk to you.
It's nice to talk to you, Paul. Thank you so much. I'm glad. It's nice to talk to somebody who discovered us later in the game.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to actually make a little visit there. I'm planning on moving the whole thing up to Oregon, and on the way there from Tucson, I would stop by and say hi to you guys.
Good. Yeah, Oregon will be a little rainier and colder than Tucson.
Yeah, Central Oregon, it's going to be a little drier.
Nice.
But
yeah,
you have the seasons.
So nice to talk to you, Paul. Thank you.
Take care.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I think that was. This is the negative about spending so much time on the air is I forget that I'm not just talking to my buddies. And so I say stuff that I would say to you, John, oh man, people are mean on Twitter. But I really, one shouldn't do that. The reason we stopped doing Chef Russ, the South by, is it just really was just a party now. It's not there's no value to broadcast. I like doing it. It's a great party. I might just go. It's a great party, but yeah, this is awesome. I didn't even create it. It just did it. This is I took a picture of the dryer, and it turned into.
You took more than one picture of the dryer.
I guess I don't really remember. Why would I take more than one?
Why would you take one?
You were bursting. You were set in burst mode.
No, but no, because I thought it would do this. I was testing the camera awesome, so I needed something moving. I guess I took 2 or 3. I must have. Yeah. I'm way too old to party. I got FOMO. Fear of missing out. I did. It's not a Zoe. This is the new thing that Google Plus does. If you take several pictures in close proximity, it turns them into an animated GIF. But I'm going to say GIF because it's not peanut butter, right? Right. Let's go to line 3, and then we're going to wrap this up as the last call. Hi, line 3. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Eugene. I'm from Long Island, New York.
Hi, Eugene from Long Island. Do you know Dr. Mom? She's from Long Island, too.
Only by chat room.
And what's your chat handle, Eugene?
Tourist.
Say again? It's tourist. Liz is
yes,
Liz.
Visiting.
Liz just went tourist. That's Lizard 77. Tourist.
Hey, Lizard.
I guess these guys have a relationship going on there.
Just say hi.
Hi, tourist.
I got a question. It's more for Lisa Cancel, but maybe you can answer it.
I will channel Lisa right now.
Sorry?
I'm going to channel her.
Okay. With the Affordable Health Care Act kicking in this year, I'm kind of wondering, is TWIT, with the cost, is TWIT finding it easier with the health care, more expensive with the health care, or just a wash?
We just changed. We were offering a very, I don't think it's the, by the way, I don't think it's the Affordable Health Care Act or AKA Obamacare that changed this, but we were offering our employees 3 different health plans. There was a HMO, which out here is Kaiser. We offered them, I think, Blue Cross and something else. And the costs were getting really out of hand. We saved $80,000 by basically saying, sorry, we can't give you a choice. We're going to have an HMO. You're going to have Kaiser. But we do pay for the principal. We don't pay for dependents. They could put it on the plan, but they have to pay for it. We pay for full health care for our employees, and it's not inexpensive, but it was never an issue in my mind whether we would offer health care. We offer them a 401k, a pension. We actually do a pension for them, and the normal other stuff. Because this is the first time I've ever not been an employee. I've always been an employee. So I always thought, well, that's what I would want and expect from an employer. The other thing is that these people are really valuable. We don't want to lose them. So they become highly trained. You know, the people who are doing TDs, nobody can learn. You know, you have to learn that on the job. If you're a TD here, we're the only people in the world who do this. So we made it up. So the skill that they learn, I don't want to lose anybody who knows how to do that because it takes a while to learn how to do that. So there's a lot of things that we don't. Every employee we have a huge investment in. So we absolutely do offer health care. I don't think that the new health care law is affecting us because we were always offering health care. So I don't think that changes it. I do have to say that the cost of health insurance has really skyrocketed for us. Partly that's my fault because my family had some very, very expensive health care issues over the last few years. And because we're a small group, anyway, Lisa blames that on the rising health care costs. So we did have to cut back in a way of what we offer. Why do you ask?
I just love Inside TWIT. It's kind of like, I call it This Week in Startups or Enterprise Businesses or whatnot. So you give me a perspective that I don't get anywhere else, really.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that we're transparent about what we do. I do it for a couple of reasons. One, because it's just my natural inclination just to go, bleh. But also, I think it's, I always bugs me that people keep stuff secret. It's like, well, it's useful if you're going to start a business. It's good for you to know some of these things. I didn't know these things. So I think it's, I'm really glad that we could be kind of transparent. The other thing is I would very much like other people to do what we're doing because the more people in this space, the easier it will be to convince advertisers that this is a viable, medium and all of that stuff. So a lot of what we tell people how to do is things like how we do the TD desk and stuff. We have visitors all the time. I have somebody coming from Tulane University. They're setting up a broadcast facility, and she's coming out. We've had a number of people from Tulane come by to learn how we do. We have visitors all the time, don't we, John, who want to know, how do you do that? How is that? And we're very glad to tell them because, A, it's not a secret, but B, I think it's good. I think more people should do this. We're excited about it. That's really the main reason, isn't it? We're excited about it, yeah. So thank you for the question, Tourist. I appreciate it.
Oh, no, thank you, Leo, and keep taking care of your employees there.
I love them. Of course I'm going to take care of them to the extent of which I'm able. Because you guys is costing me money. It's funny because, they talk a lot about how people invest, take venture capital and stuff. We've never taken an investor, except that I am a pretty heavy investor in the business. We generate millions of dollars a year, and almost all of it goes back into the business. So, over the last 4 years, I've probably put $8 or $9 million of my personal money that I would have, into the business. But the return will be there. I think. And if not, who cares? I had a great time. There's two ways this could go. And I think about this a lot because I'm getting old. And Lisa and I think about this a lot. There's two ways this could go. We could do it for another 10, 15, 20 years, however long I got, and then that'll be it. We could sell it in 10 or 15 years, and what I'm really hoping this is what'll happen, is we'll build a community of people like Padre and Tom and Sarah and Ayaz and Liz and everybody, and the business will continue. And as I get older, the TWIT will continue on with new shows. I'll slowly, fade off into the sunset. I doubt I'll ever stop until I'm dead, but so that would be for me a very good outcome because I could then pull some income out of that, and it would continue. Yeah, join me. We're waiting for you. No more calls. You can come to Inside TWIT. This was Inside TWIT. Well, come on, sit here. Everybody wants to see you. Somebody asked, and they wanted to know what your answer would be. Tourists wanted to know if our health care costs have gone up. She's doing something important. I can't get her. Their chat room is saying, we want Lisa. We want Lisa. I do like this. I really like this. This is good. And you did the right thing, which was not to show the phone number after a certain amount of time. And I was, oh, you hit the block? Yeah. Yeah, so that was good because there's only a certain number that you want to do, but I'm glad everybody called. I don't think we need to screen. Why would we need to screen?
Well, at least put them on hold.
I like the idea of picking up, putting them on hold just so that they can hear what's going on.
Hi, this is TWIT. Please hold.
Yeah, just say, you don't have to screen them. Because, this is friend. Now, one thing I should tell you is that what we've decided to do with pre-recording radio shows, now that we have this here, we can record the radio shows on Fridays or whenever. But there'll be no way to get the calls except through the chat room because the radio stations aren't saying call now. But for me, it's much better to do that than to do a whole radio show and then hang around and do an hour. But I could in 2 hours, I could do a whole radio show with calls from the chat room. And I think that would work fine. We'll get Heather to come in and screen them. So that's what we're thinking. I will need to record 6 shows in September, October, because I'll be gone for 3 weekends. But I can, in 2 hours, record a show. So in the matter, I could probably do 2 shows a Friday for 3 Fridays.
And it's possible to, at the end of a Sunday Tech Guy, say, oh, and this Friday.
Yeah, and I can always say that. But most of the calls will have to come from our regulars. But that's fine.
We would do the 888.
Yeah, we'd use 8888 Ask Leo and all of that stuff. But we're not going to do that till September because I don't want the shows to become dated too quickly.
Wouldn't you just have to time them really carefully? The radio...
Yeah. So what we do, but we do that anyway, is we go, okay, this has to be 9 minutes, 53 seconds. So I start the timer and I wrap it. And so then what we do is we have it all packaged up. And this is the beauty part. Saturday, they don't even have to know. Saturday, it's all recorded and you just run it. You play it back as if it's a real show, and the people in Sherman Oaks will say, "Oh, he just rapped," and they'll play the ads and the whole thing, and it'll be. And we can even, from our point of view, it'll be live on the air.
We would play it back.
Yeah. No, that's the beauty of it. We have a TD here playing back the segments just as if it's a real show.
Easy.
And then that way, people who tune in.
Not as easy as staying home and sleeping.
Well, I know you'd like to sleep, but we'll pay you to do it. And so that way. The radio show kind of continues in what looks like a real fashion. Obviously, those of you who are there are...
Video, though.
No, we'll do it just like the radio show.
And then in the breaks, we just pull up 24 and say, edit this out.
No, I don't even do the breaks. I just go to the next thing. I take a 10-second break and continue on. That's how I could do a whole 3-hour show in 2 hours.
When we play it back.
Yes, when you play it back, you pause. And he's playing the commercials. Nathan plays the commercial. Then you hear the bumper back, and right at the right time, you press play. Yeah, you're playing it back. And I mean, I don't think we'll hide it from Premier and Nathan, but in effect, that's what it'll be.
The clock behind you will show that.
I will take down the clock.
It's on the radio.
I can see the chat room like, God,
Where's the clock? Where's the clock? No, the chat room will know.
Yeah, it's on the radio thing.
Unless, and then somebody says, what if there's a big natural disaster and everybody say, Leo is such an insensitive clod. He's just going on and on.
You should do intros that start with, oh my God, that...
Oh my God, the happened. In your region. Oh my God, died. I really loved in the show.
Oh my God, Apple did.
Oh my God, Apple just announced. We'll just do a bunch of those.
Yeah, hey, John can just impersonate it.
This is it, the new iPhone. iPad 5. I could actually record. September is actually a bad time to be gone because that's probably when they will announce all that new stuff. But we're not leaving till September 17th, so I'm hoping it's usually in early September. Yeah. The tragedy in, state your name, was completely unexpected. Or I could record a bunch of chunks and you could reassemble them. And so I could say, Abe Vigoda, Ryan Gosling, Kevin Costner, George Clooney. And then, oh my God, did you hear what happened to? Do you think Justin Robert Young could do an imitation Leo? They said they think he can do my voice.
he does pretty good voices.
Is he good at voices?
Yeah.
And then we could always do the timeless GIF argument.
It's timeless.
It's timeless, obviously. Evergreen. So that is how Car Talk used to work. They would actually have an answering machine, and they would take calls all week. People would say, "Yeah, I'd like to ask Click and Clack about my transmission," and then they would pick the best ones, call them back in a pre-recorded session. They'd record many more hours than they used on the air. Editors would then make it a compelling. But you're never going to get me to do that. That's nuts. But that's why Car Talk was so good, because everything was heavily edited and pre-planned, and they would pick the people, and that's why it was so good. And unfortunately, people don't know that, and so they often compare live talk radio to Car Talk and say, "How come you guys are not as tight and fun and funny?" Well, that's why. That's why. It's how NPR does radio shows. Click and clack, I said, not click clack. That's click clack. Click clack, answer the phone. It is true, 50% of them is laughing. Michael, what are you standing there for? Come over here, Michael. Come to me, my beamish boy. Frabjous day, kalu kaloi. He chortled in his joy. So somebody sent me on Twitter. What are you looking at? What you looking at? Is that a kaleidoscope? Somebody sent me on Twitter their tapped out layout. He said he had to do 20. Took him 20 screen captures, and then he's auto stitched it. I really want to take my whole tapped out land.
If you get me an image, I'll take it to Barbara's sign.
No, that's not the hard part. You're doing the easy part, Jeffrey Needles. The hard part is taking 20 screenshots. Or should I have an intern do it? Okay, here's Leo's phone. No one. I can't trust anybody with my tapped out land. So what I have to do is I have to, and you have to keep 30% on the borders, and I just, Plus, I started it last night, and I gave up. It was too hard. I had everybody doing something interesting, right? So I had Duffman riding the Segway. I had the Reverend driving his little train. Huh? Oh, flying around the stadium? That's a good one, too. He flies around. I could do that. Actually, that'd be better because then he's in the same spot. Because I'm worried about duplication. I want to have two Duffmans.
Make sure that Fat Tony's chilling in his hot tub.
Fat Tony in the hot tub. Exactly. And Kent Brockman on the chair relaxing. Yeah. A couple of lounging fat guys. Oh, so much work.
It's so worth it.
But then, mine's big because I've bought every piece of land, I've fully expanded. There's nowhere else to go.
And the total cost was?
Oh, don't even want to think about it. It wasn't money. It was just coins. But now I'm generating coins like crazy, man, because there's nothing to buy. So I'm going to get the popsicle tower, and I'm going to get the magnifying. I'm going to get it all, unless they suddenly come up with some buildings. I don't think they will for a while, because they just...
They seem to be doing it every month.
Right. But I mean, literally, because I have so much now that I'm generating a couple of hundred, maybe 300,000 coins a day. So it'll only take me a few weeks to get those, and then I'll be ready for new buildings.
Just make sure your magnifying glass goes on the popsicle stick tower, so hopefully it goes on fire.
Can you put it on top? Oh, I should aim it at it, yeah. Yeah. I'm sure they'll add more land. I'll be pissed off when they do, because it cost me a lot. I like the Frink car. I wish it did something, I agree.
It has to, eventually. There's a dog and a car. They have to do the
I love the dog. I got the dog, too, the robot dog, yeah. So that's my goal, is to have it, and then I want to print it out on like a big poster.
Have you done any wording with the judge or anything?
Well, I'm thinking now, because I have a lot of water with all the land, I made it water. I started playing with the bridges. I think I can spell twit with the bridges. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Right now, it's just kind of random. Listen to the Padre SJ. Is he saying something? Tourist Libby Yup. What's Padre SJ saying? Oh, I got sucked in so bad. If somebody gets me my iPad, I'll show you my town.
Go, Jeffrey, go.
CenturyLink is willing to drop a 10 gig line into the brick house and give us all the bandwidth we want. Okay, Padre. 10 gigs? We spend almost $5,000 a month on bandwidth. But would Century want us to pay for that?
What are we going to do with 10 gigs?
We don't need 10 gigs, although we could probably use it. Oh, man, the BitTorrents would be flying.
Oh my
Okay. So.
By the time we get it, you'll be done with your internship. I'll come back for that. Nope. Lock your door.
Well, our electric bill, I don't know, but I think it's 4,000, 5,000. The last time I asked Lisa, it was roughly that. What is this texture on me? That's the carpet. I need to get my stand. This is gonna crash in a minute anyway.
Well, good. Get that out of the
Yeah,
way.
it crashes when I first launch it. I thought everybody was experiencing this, but it's only me, huh? I crash in the first 30 seconds every time, and then it's pretty stable. After that, it doesn't do that on Android. It's fine on Android, and I don't think I take the screenshots from the iPad. Well, I might take it from this iPad. Yeah, see. Yeah. Well, I was going to think of taking it from my 1080p phone.
Yeah, but that's much higher than 1080p.
This is higher than 1080p?
Way higher.
Okay. Yeah, but it's Retina on a 10-inch screen. That's 1080p on a 4.7-inch screen. I think the DPI on the one is much higher than that. It's like 100 pixels higher. And this apparently is scalable because when I look at it on the screen, there's no aliasing. There's nothing. So they're probably using scalable graphics of some kind. It was fun to take calls. I'll do that more often. So kids, do not play this game. Do not play this. Did you know there's a donut hack?
There's a what?
Free donut hack that will let you get donuts? No. Unlimited? Somebody in the chat room told me that.
Yeah,
I don't cheat. I think Electronic Arts deserves my my Franklins. Ooh. They need all the Franklins they can get. A Benjamin. Is it a Benjamin or a Franklin? It's called a Benjamin? And what did I call it, a Franklin? What the hell's wrong with me? What the hell? So, my little town started over here in this corner. This was the ghetto over here. So we have Cletus's farm and the tire fire. And then, I don't have any more nuclear waste. I have to conserve this nuclear waste because I decorated Cletus's farms with an abandoned car, the pumpkin patch, that was from back in Halloween, a washing machine and dryer, and then a dumpster. And then I put a lot of nuclear waste around here just to kind of make it really a dump, okay? But there's no more nuclear waste because I bought all the land. So this is it. And then also the other kid lives here. What's his name? Yeah, the Muntz house. So this is kind of the downscale. But I didn't have anywhere to put the park, the Springfield Park, so I put it here. This is kind of cool. This is one of the newer things. We have an open air stage. Oh, the B Sharps can perform. This is fun. It's a singing quartet. They sing Baby on. I wish you could hear them singing.
Yeah, it's with the Homer's Quartet episode. Baby.
Oh, but I wish they would sing that. So Apu is one of them.
He got kicked out for Barney.
They're coming. Here's Barney. So it's the later version of the quartet. Apu, Barney, Homer will be here in a moment.
And Skinner.
And Skinner, is he one of the singers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wiggum was the original one, but he got kicked out for
Oh, there's Homer. So they have to walk from way over the other side of of this territory. There we go. Now they're going to sing on the stage. There's 4 of them. So now they're going to go up, and there they are. They're singing. Yeah, isn't that nice? Okay. Then this doesn't do anything. It's just cool looking, the Springfield Mountain. I've made this the science area. So we have the Springfield subatomic super collider.
I never got that.
Oh, you didn't get that? That's a nice one. And then the black hole goes with that. And I've thoughtfully put orange cones around the black holes so nobody falls in. There's Frink's car, which I really like. And that really does go well with Frink's lab here. And then I put a little park. The weather station is in here. And the observatory, because you want the observatory kind of far away from city lights. So that's as far as I could get. And there's a little watering hole and some benches. Java server and Gulp and Blow just lead right onto the back of that. So it's this kind of a residential area here. I like to give my residents a little water out their windows so they have a view of...
Wow.
Why? If it isn't little Sally Simpson. And then... let's see what else. Nobody's got any assignments, so they're just wandering around. So the nuclear plant, this is kind of an eyesore. I'm thinking of doing some urban redevelopment, moving that out into a watery area. But this stuff is here because this is where I first got it. There's the control center. The Duff beer factory. Of course, all the smokestacks are in the same area. We got to keep them together. Not worry about contamination. And then the Barney balloon, we just got that. That's kind of fun. He burps. Hey, why don't I hear that? The Barney balloons, apparently the burping is malfunctioning. This is one of my favorite parts of the area. And I was inspired by Beatmaster, who gave Mr. Burns a maze and stuff. So I really want to give Mr. Burns a nice mansion area. So we've got fountains and flowers and shrubbery. We've got a little gazebo and a hot tub, of course, a volleyball area. And I really like this. This was by accident, but the trees and then leading out to the kind of Potomac-like.
Those bushes?
Yeah, just trees. And then this is that statue, the excellent statue, which shouldn't.
The head, Burns' head.
It's so weird that.
It's random.
Yeah, it's random. But I thought, well, Mr. Burns would probably have that in there. Yeah, you can take the phone. Thank you. The Sleep Easy Motel. When there's somebody staying there, the sign turns into sleazy, which I like. Every time you put somebody in one of these things, the building comes alive. This is the Legitimate Businessman Social Club. That's where the mafioso live. I put the hospital and the medical area all together. So Dr. Hibbert's clinic is right here. And there's Cletus. This is the Channel 6 studios. And, of course, they've got their news van and their satellite dish.
I've used the Valentine's decorations to make the sleazy motel more sleazy.
Oh, that's a good idea. And I have quite a few of these Valentine's things. I could probably do it there. I put a little bad park next to it. This is not so sleazy, really, unfortunately. It's kind of.
You make it sleazy. There's also like.
I could make it
cigarette,
sleazier.
Like you could put the cigarette.
Oh, the cigarette machine, yeah. I put that in my special death center, which I should.
Yeah, I put that next. I was thinking of putting it there, and then I put it next to Kerbopple's apartments, and she's a.
Oh yeah, she's a smoker.
She's a chronic smoker.
In fact, when she's in there, you can see her smoking and puffing in the window. Yeah. So this is kind of the entertainment district with the Bowlerama. We've got the Springfield Coliseum, Duff Stadium. That's where I put the Duff party bus.
Nice.
Right. Figured it should go there. The inflatable gorilla, I put it next to Santa's Village. I couldn't really.
It's random.
It's random. I didn't know, but he's wearing a Santa hat, so I thought that should kind of.
Any Christmas stuff I started.
I kept the Christmas stuff. Oh, you started too late? Yeah, so you got reindeer, Christmas trees. So, I grew up in Santa Cruz where there really was a Santa's Village, and it's open year-round, so I could put this away, but I put some of the Halloween stuff away. Here's Springfield Downs. I like to dress that up with stuff, with the fountains and some, Valentine's bushes and heart things. The Sprawl Mart. We have a little kind of, this is on the edge of the wilderness here with Springfield Falls and Mount Carl. And also, of course, Fort Sensible. We're starting to see some of the water areas. I moved the prison out to like its own area, and this is, you can see, this is all the extra land I bought. So but I was looking at this, I was thinking, I could.
Rob, I want to be a principal or a caterpillar.
Oh, thank you. So I like him. I like Kent Brockman.
Please.
Pardon me?
Ah! You nailed me.
I love him. And then not you. And then when I make him do stuff, let's make him relax.
Let's do it. But if I chip a nail, I sue.
Love that. I thought maybe I could trap people out here by cutting off the causeways, but they just walk over water, which I think is a mistake in the design. You should be able to trap people out here. Wouldn't that be?
It's kind of like what I do with field runners. Where,
just trap them.
You can't trap them because you always have to have a way out. You just make it so they have to run all the way back through the maze to get out.
These guys, they'll just walk over water, which is kind of not so good. I made this little area to make some money, and I realize it's kind of depressing, but that's how it is. It's like the east side of Petaluma. This is my death area, so I wanted to make a philosophical statement about death. So you've got the school here and
Street place and Death Zone.
Well, no, I know that's a fancy restaurant. I didn't have anywhere to put it, but I thought, it kind of it goes with the Cool House. See?
I never got the Cool House.
Oh, that's the Cool House.
Who did that come with?
That was when they did the Cool episode, and Homer has a goatee. Do you have Homer with a goatee? No. Oh yeah, that's kind of fun.
WWDC?
Yes, we are, of course. Live,
We are? We're doing
live
breaking news
keynote.
on
You bet.
Monday?
Yep.